Okay, so I did my project on anorexia nervosa, or anorexia. What is anorexia nervosa? So, anorexia nervosa is a disorder that causes someone to have an extreme fear of gaining weight. These individuals try to keep their weight as low as possible. It's an eating disorder as well as a mental disorder because people with anorexia think they're fat when they're dangerously thin. Basically, in their minds, they just cannot see the fact that they are extremely small, and they think that they are way bigger than they are, and they have body dysmorphia that affects the way that their brain sees themselves. It is important to know that the death rate for anorexia is the highest of all mental illnesses, and picking up on early signs can save someone's life. Speaking of early signs, some of them to look for include lying, whether it's about how much they ate or how much they weigh, not eating around other people or eating at all, or eating slowly so that they don't eat as much, or so it looks like they're eating about the same as everybody else. They also might wear baggy clothes to hide their body. According to the National Library of Medicine, some comorbid conditions include mood disorders, anxiety disorders, substance use, and ADHD. Some common symptoms of individuals with anorexia include not eating enough or at all, as we said before, excessive physical activity. These individuals exercise all the time because they constantly feel like they need to burn off any calorie they may have consumed. Taking laxatives or throwing up, again, to get everything out of their system. Fixation with making food, they fixate on making their own food so that they can track how many calories are in everything that they consume, and they don't feel comfortable eating other people's meals often because they don't know what they put in there and how many calories they're going to end up consuming. They also have abnormal and obsessive eating behaviors. Obsessive in a way that, like, they're just weird around food. Like, again, the fixation with making food, they may obsess over certain foods or just weird behaviors that a normal person, not normal person, but someone who doesn't struggle with anorexia doesn't even think about. They also over-evaluate their body weight and the way that they look. They're constantly thinking about what they look like, how they feel, how small are they, what do they look like in that moment. There are genetic contributions. There's a strong genetic component. Studies have shown that female family relatives of an anorexia patient have an 11 times greater risk of developing the disorder, and genes contribute from 50% up to 74% of anorexia development. Monozygotic twins have a higher likelihood of developing anorexia than dizygotic twins, which is the twins that are like identical, like they're from the same egg. They're gonna have a higher likelihood of developing anorexia than those that were the egg split. That is information that I found from PubMed Central, the National Library of Medicine. More genetic contributions. According to the Genome-Wide Association studies, they suggest that there are actually thousands of common genetic variants with small effects that overall contribute to the risk of developing anorexia. There are a couple specific genetic loci, such as chromosome 1, which is linked to cases involving obsession with being thin. Again, like an abnormal obsession with how you look and how skinny you are, and the overall just insane fear of gaining weight that most people don't have. But overall, most studies find that anorexia is majorly linked to, as I said before, a combined impact of a bunch of smaller genes rather than one single gene. Now we'll talk about environmental contributions. There are quite a bit of environmental contributions. Home life can be a major one. Physical and sexual abuse at home, or really just any stressful or traumatic life events. Home life, meaning If a parent teaches restrictive eating or practices it themselves, it can cause a child to follow similar habits. If a parent is very much, oh, we're going to eat at this time, no snacks, or some parents point out like their own insecurities, and it might affect a child because they'll be like, oh, well, if they have that insecurity and I'm the same way, then I should have that insecurity as well. Just little things like that you don't even think about, but can affect someone, especially a young child or adolescent. Stress at home and in school are contributing factors. At school, specifically bullying, people, especially in middle school, when your body's changing, calling someone fat and making fun of their eating habits can cause restrictive behaviors and eating disorders. Specifically, like when you're younger and and your mind is very much, oh, what do people think about me? If someone says something, that can completely change the way that you view yourself and just can start and make you want to have restrictive eating behaviors that can cause eating disorders. And of course, sports can play a major role in anorexia. Gymnastics, ballet, wrestling, figure skating, modeling, and really any sport where body weight, shape, and size are a major aspect. You see anorexia pretty often because obviously your body has to be a specific weight in a specific way to succeed in a lot of these specific sports. And not necessarily succeed, but like there's a standard, and a lot of people take it too far or they take it too seriously, and obviously restricting eating habits is going to cause you to have some issues, I guess, per se. Now, environmental stimuli for mitigation. This could be consistent family mealtime, stable family and friend relationships, communication, having a family that is open about their feelings and how they feel, same with friends, but, if something bothers them, they talk about it instead of just ignoring it. By consistent family mealtime, I mean, like, in a healthy way, not, like, overly analyzing, but sitting together, eating together, not hiding things, lying about eating. Having a body positive environment is helpful. Again, trying not to talk negatively about yourself or your child or anyone around them. Avoid negative media. And I'll go into that sorry. I'm going to go back. This is the next slide. So by avoiding anorexia and media, I mean avoid diet culture, which is very strong on the media at the moment. Thin standards, they're very extreme right now. So if we can protect our children from the media that promotes eating disorders to the best that we can, that can obviously make a big difference. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Next was my resources. Oh, I accidentally put them first, that's why, but I'll fix that. So yeah, that's anorexia.